Welcome to the Explainer. Today, we're jumping right into a really fascinating development in the world of risk and assurance. We're looking at a platform called Assistant Information Security, or AIS for short. We're going to explore exactly how this system acts as a strategic solution to massively boost your audit productivity. If you've ever felt the absolute friction of modern assurance workflows, well, you're going to want to pay close attention today.
But first, I want you to honestly ask yourself this. How much time is your audit team losing on spreadsheets and formatting? Seriously, think about your highly skilled senior assurance pros. How many hours are they just draining away, copying and pasting between Word templates, chasing down version control issues in emails, or wrestling with cell borders in a spreadsheet? It's this massive hidden cost dragging down almost every assessment process right now.
Okay, let's dive into this. Here's our roadmap for today. We're covering the audit challenge, the strategic solution, empowering auditors, control and visibility, and finally, security and sovereignty.
Starting with Section 1, the audit challenge, and specifically, the scattered state of audits.
Let's be real. The current state for a lot of assurance teams is just scattered. Most teams are trying to manage these incredibly complex risk environments across disconnected spreadsheets, static Word templates, and endless email threats. And you know what that means, right? Instead of making critical judgments, your senior staff's time is entirely wasted on reformatting overhead and chasing inconsistencies. Meanwhile, junior auditors are left totally isolated, trying to learn massive frameworks with almost no guidance. And honestly, the worst part? Once that audit report is finally issued, the findings just kind of get lost in the ether. The whole audit trail basically breaks down the exact moment you export to PDF.
Moving to Section 2, the strategic solution, treating AIS as a multiplier.
The entire philosophy of Assistant Information Security is captured perfectly in this one quote: "The AI assists, the auditor decides." This is absolutely crucial to understand. AIS is not just AI for the sake of it, and it is definitely not trying to replace human expertise. It's built to be a productivity multiplier. Think of it as a sidekick that validates data, drafts scenarios, and handles all the heavy lifting of organization so your skilled people can actually spend their time on, well, human judgment.
Take a look at the dashboard here. What's really interesting is how literally everything, audit completion percentages, open findings, critical inherent risks, the whole shebang, is instantly visible in one unified record. No more digging through 3 different spreadsheets just to figure out the status of an audit. AIS brings the risks, controls, evidence, and findings into one single project record per engagement. That means your data stays consistent and your audit trail holds incredibly strong from start to finish.
And because all that data lives in this one consolidated record, the risk analyzer can feed every single supported report type. Need a high-level executive summary, a certification and accreditation memo, a final authority to operate output? It all draws directly from right here. It literally eliminates repetitive document preparation. Section 3, empowering auditors and elevating your whole team.
Look, for junior auditors, tackling complex frameworks like the New Zealand Information Security Manual, or NZISM, can be incredibly daunting, but check out this security chat interface. Your junior team members can pull up specific framework requirements instantly. They can ask the AI, "Hey, how do I assess this control?" Or, "What evidence should I expect here?" They are literally building their skills on the job with contextual, real-time guidance, while the final decision always remains firmly in their hands.
When you put these two approaches side by side, the productivity gains are just a no-brainer. Instead of leaving a junior auditor totally isolated and lost in a massive 100-page PDF trying to interpret generic rules, AIS gives them an accelerated, guided workflow. The AI bridges that knowledge gap instantly right there in context.
But hey, this isn't just for the junior staff. AIS is a huge productivity multiplier for senior auditors too. The platform has this awesome integrity check that automatically flags mismatches before you even try to export. So if a control is rated fully effective but still has open critical findings, the system catches it. Boom! Every control rating is permanently linked to the recorded evidence. And while the AI helps draft those tedious risk scenarios, every single draft is reviewed by an actual auditor before it enters the record. It ensures totally consistent defensible outputs and gives your senior auditors their valuable time back.
Section 4, control and visibility, because we definitely need to maintain oversight.
So how do we keep control? The answer lies in strict governance workflows.
Every audit has to pass through formal review gates before it can be finalized. We're talking 3 primary gates: the security risk assessment, the control validation assessment, and the final review. At each of these stages, the work transitions from in progress to under review. The assigned reviewer gets notified, they check the work, and they actually have to physically pass the gate to let the audit continue. Absolutely no assessment reaches closure without that independent sign-off.
You can see exactly how this works right here in this drop-down menu. Notice the progression: SRA in progress, SRA under review, SRA reviewed. This literally hard codes your quality assurance process directly into the tool. You're no longer relying on a supervisor just remembering to check a specific tab on a spreadsheet. The platform strictly enforces the transition, so the human is always in charge of the final output.
And that visibility extends way beyond the final report. Through the findings registry and the attack path analysis, AIS completely solves the problem of post-audit amnesia. It tracks every single finding across every project and maps them to actual attack paths, like an insider threat chain, for example. Suddenly, overdue items and risk patterns become glaringly obvious before they ever evolve into real accreditation problems.
Finally, Section 5, Security and Sovereignty, keeping your data uncompromised. Look, sensitive security assessments have to remain under the absolute control of the organization that owns them, period. AIS was developed by Andean Security in New Zealand, and they take data sovereignty incredibly seriously. The entire platform runs inside your environment, whether that's on-prem or in your own cloud. It can even use locally hosted AI models, meaning zero reliance on external AI services. The framework databases, your configuration, your assessment data, it never leaves your controlled environment. And of course, the whole thing is locked down with multi-factor authentication, activity logging, and strict role-based access controls. So, we've seen how AIS transforms a scattered mass of documents into a single source of truth. It empowers your junior staff, multiplies your senior productivity, and enforces strict review gates, all while keeping your data perfectly sovereign and secure. So I want to leave you with this final provocative thought. What could your assurance team actually achieve if they stopped acting like document formatters and were finally freed up to spend 100% of their time assessing and mitigating real risks? Thanks so much for joining me for this explainer, and I really hope this gave you a fresh perspective on the future of audit productivity.